featuring some of the most intense, interesting, and overall best combat I have ever experienced. Unsold is the first title from South Korean studio Megusta Games. I was shocked at just how damned good it feels to play, and it launched directly into Xbox Game Pass. So let's deep dive into why this game is so flippin' good. Unsold is not a roguelike. It's an act-based story game that greatly rewards replaying and exploring levels you've already completed. You can easily mainline that story and get one ending in just under 3 hours, but I spent nearly as much time finding everything I needed for a far more satisfying conclusion. The story is a classic tale. You are the prince of a fallen kingdom looking to avenge your people against an enemy named Amu, and they have the power to raise the dead. The translation is competent, though one of the main female characters going tee-hee repeatedly was not great. Throughout 6 acts of various and all short lengths, you'll chase down the truth behind your kingdom's downfall and learn just how you can exact revenge. After my initial playthrough, I was thoroughly unsatisfied with the conclusion, though once I realized that I was meant to go back through and find a path to a far better one, things got really interesting. No spoilers, of course, but once you hit the credits for the first time, you are not done, and there is a lot left to do if you didn't spend time exploring each act. As the name would imply, your character, among a few others, can absorb souls. These come in multiple forms. Red is the game's leveling currency. Passive souls give you a permanent and always enabled bonus. Blue refills your special move meter, green restores your health, and then boss enemies give you a powerful ability triggered by the right bumper during combat. Either slowly during or quickly outside of combat, a hold of the A button will suck all the souls around you into your character. Mastering the timing of this in combat is key to healing yourself and restoring your special move meters. This is a very heavily systems-dense game, and there is a full tutorial Abyss mode which is available to help you master its intricacies. Let us dive into the combat system, which is a masterpiece. That combat system is deep and as easy or tough as you want it to be. By default, it is extremely fair, but on the hard side. Thankfully, the developers offer up 3 difficulty modes: easy, normal, and balls hard. Alongside these are several accessibility options to further customize your time with the game. I think the best way to describe it is a rhythmic, chain-based action fighting game. The control scheme has X being your main attack. Y is a special move activation button. B is a double-slash heavy attack. Right bumper activates your currently equipped boss soul. Right trigger is your ever-present dash. Left bumper is your block/parry ability. And left trigger is a context-sensitive, environment-altering ability. First, we'll go over your attacks. X is a triple slash that, like everything else, can be upgraded by spending red souls. It has a short internal cooldown and can be chained into and out of most other abilities. X becomes a slashing attack when paired with your dodge. There is also a charge slash move by holding down X for 2 seconds that you'll unlock pretty early in the story. The Y button is a special move modifier, as in it causes your character to glow white for a second, and by pressing either X, A, or B, you will do a special different move per button. Y plus X is a dashing powerful slash that deals high damage and can break otherwise unbreakable objects in the game world. Y plus A causes your character to pull in all souls and enemies around him during a period of slow motion. Y plus B is the inverse, causing a burst of energy to shoot out from the prince and damage and knock back any enemies close by. The B button is the heavy twin slash attack, and A is that aforementioned soul collecting move. Though if you use A during a dash, you will do the Death Touch ability, which grabs foes and stuns them while dealing damage over time, but it leaves you open to attack from other enemies. There are multiple other moves you will find and unlock during the game as well, some of which feature full-on fighting game style button inputs that lead to incredibly cool and devastatingly powerful super moves. The heart of the combat though is your left bumper, which is that block and parry button. Holding it down will block most incoming attacks but drains your stamina. A well-timed tap of the button though will parry any attack and open your enemy to an instant and brutal counterattack by pressing X. For the more daring, you can instantly counterattack with just the X button on an incoming attack as well, but its timing window is far smaller. These counters can also be chained together, and instantly slashing through 3 or more enemies in quick succession feels incredible. For the times you do get hit, there is the Ghost move. After being hit, you can press the left and right triggers simultaneously to instantly recover, gain back a little stamina, and earn a second of invulnerability. This move, like most others, runs on charges, so you cannot spam it, but it recovers quickly if you deal damage and defeat enemies. A press of the Ghost button, which is View on your controller, brings up a menu that shows your passive souls, boss souls, and upgrades available. To upgrade, you must find a checkpoint stone while out of combat, but thankfully these are all over the place. The only upgrade currency are the red souls you get for defeating enemies, and eventually through a few other means. And you have full freedom to either unlock more damage and abilities on your moveset, or you can focus on your core stats at your leisure. It can take a lot of playtime to level it all, but it is worth it as your survivability and damage scale significantly with each upgrade. The systems feel incredible when mixed together, and the game's 6+ months in early access was definitely time well spent. There is one area that does hurt things though, and those are the graphics, as they're not bad, but a few times I simply lost enemies in the terrain, or the constant foreground obfuscation caused my player and enemies to become gray shadows, which makes things difficult to track. So let's get more into the graphics. Unsold uses the tried and true pixel polygon look that benefits greatly from being affected by lighting. It never looks great, but the animations themselves can be incredible, and the area variety kept things from ever feeling stale. The camera is typically directly overhead and will zoom in or out depending on the location. Cutscenes at the end of and in between missions look pretty good, though the female character that is typically in them has incredibly bouncy breasts because, of course. Even in this low pixel look, you can tell a lot of time and effort was spent on the jiggle factor. One of the odder things graphically is your character's running animation. He looks like he has a full load in his diaper, it's then leaked onto his shoes, and he's poo skating across the ground whenever you run side to side. In a game with so many fantastic animations, it stuck out as oddly hilarious to me. Though with a generous stamina system and chain together dash moves, you don't really see it all that often. The music is solid and fits the mood of everything well. It was oddly silent during the first act, and I wonder if that was intentional or a bug, because the rest of the game constantly had music playing. Sound effects are about what you would expect, and there is no voice acting to be found. The translation is of high quality, though the main character is an outright prick most of the time and not likable. Though that was lessened when I realized I had to go back to Axe and find more side stuff, which enlightened the prince enough for him to not be a gruff jerk all the time. I really like that part of things. If you go head down and look for quick revenge, he never grows. But if you take your time and learn what is really going on, he does. In conclusion, I was shocked by how incredible this game felt to play. It's paired with a solid story, great music, and surprising depth, which makes it an easy recommendation. It's available day one on Game Pass or for $20 at launch, and whether you are looking for a balls-to-the-wall thrill ride or something that feels great and is chill to play, you can customize that difficulty how you see fit. If anything you've read about here sounds interesting, then you should check this fantastic game out. As always, thank you so much for watching, and if you can like, comment, subscribe, it really does help the ever-present YouTube algorithm. And we'll see you here next time on XboxEra.